that group Stand Up Michigan, that fought all the restrictions last year, the lockdowns, the shutdowns. He has decided to step up and run for governor. He announced that yesterday, and we're joining him now on World Radio. You can watch us, by the way, live on my Facebook page, on Twitter, and, of course, on YouTube. I've got it posted up there, too. Garrett, Dr. Garrett Soldano, appreciate you being here with us today, Doctor. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Justin. As always, I appreciate the time that you give us on air so our messages can spread, because now more than ever it is needed. Especially now you guys are getting censored and getting the hammer down or brought down on you by social media, and we're still dealing with it. And it's a nonstop battle, but it's patriots and Americans that need to continue to stand up against this.
You are no stranger. Matter of fact, you guys had this huge Facebook group last year. It grew to what, hundreds of thousands of people, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Facebook shut you guys down. It's crazy.
It's amazing in the blink of an eye. And not only that group, that group grew to 400,000 in 4 weeks, got taken down. Our Stand Up Michigan page got taken down for no reason. The Unlock Michigan group got taken down. I grew a group called Stand Up We the People, and it grew to 50,000 in a day around the election. That got taken down. And so, it's not new to me to have Facebook censor me and our groups and the platforms that we're creating. And even to this day, I got a group right now, Michigan Needs an Adjustment, and they're hammering us. And people are just sharing stories that they're going in the stores and they're deciding to stand up, and they have, reasons that they don't want to wear the mask because I'm against mask mandates. And Facebook is clipping those stories for inciting violence. And so there's nothing that you can post that goes against their narrative that's not going to get clipped.
Yeah, this is one of the most disturbing things, no matter how you feel about any of these things, is the question that we can't have these conversations, and who gets to decide what conversations we get to have. I know that's one of the questions, especially when we look back some of the policies of this governor over the last year. They've not been very popular. In fact, right now, she has seen her poll numbers drop, and I know she really does rule by these poll numbers. That's why we haven't seen shutdowns in the last couple of rounds here. Dropped 17 points in 8 months now to a big lull. What are you hearing from people, and what made you decide that you wanted to run for governor against her?
Well, number one, when I stood up on April 9th last year and started that group, I wouldn't be here in front of you. You would have told me I was going to run for governor last year, I would have laughed you out of my house. Never had any desire for politics, to be a politician, any of that. But no politicians, none of our elected officials, none of them stood up. They were just taking it. And, I just couldn't do it anymore. I decided at that time that I was going to follow my heart, and I was going to follow what my soul was telling me to do. And that was to stand up for the people and put it all on the line. And that's what we did last year. And so over this past year, I've been traveling around the state of Michigan. I'm meeting people, talking to the business owners who have had their livelihood stripped away from them, talking to restaurant owners trying to survive off 25% capacity, over the 6,000 restaurants that have now closed their doors permanently. These are people's livelihoods. These are people's dreams. And she stripped that away from them, and then she stripped away those inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that our creators bestowed upon us. And we need to continue to stand up. And I really, truly believe, with her continually bringing down the hammer on us Michiganders with canceling Thanksgiving, canceling Christmas. It's do as I say, not as I do, because when she did that, she went out and did what? She went to the inauguration with her 2 daughters. Then she's telling people not to travel to Florida. Don't go to spring break because Florida's COVID hell, we keep hearing, right? But they're doing it right. They're back to normal. Things are rolling. They're doing better with case rates. But we have a governor right now who continues to do the definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. She's weaponized the health part. And look, Justin, you're right. Her poll numbers are crashing. You know why? Because number one, as a parent, you never, ever get the right to tell me what should happen to my kid medically or what I should do to my kid to be able to go to public schools. And when she decided, and her health department decided, to mask up 2 to 4-year-olds in preschool, that is where parents are just fed up and they're done. And now the middle is joining our movement, because we know that they're not following any health and science, because any healthcare professional, I will take a stand on this right now, you should never, ever mask up a healthy child. Never. And the research is out there, and the research will continually be out there and will continually be done on how harmful these things if you wear them long term. So that's where I'll take a stance, and we need somebody in the office that will continue to take that stance. I have nothing to gain. I have no political agenda, no political narrative. I want to do what's right for the people. And I'm proud to say, after we announced yesterday, Justin, we have raised over $150,000 from the grassroots movement. And I always tell everybody, you're not investing in the Garrett. This is not Garrett for governor. This is we the people. All I want to do is be the expression of their voices. So in essence, this is their platform. This is their race. And I just want to continue to always do what's right and do what's right for the people as a whole. And I firmly believe we are going to continue to grow this thing, and we're going to continue to raise money. I don't care how much money she raises, because you can't do the things that she has done to the state and to the people and get away with it.
Dr. Garrett Soldano is running for governor. He just announced that he's the latest to add his name to that list. It's a growing list now. Folks are stepping up and saying that, we need to make a change. And, of course, folks are fighting to this. Now, Garrett, people, I think you got to be crazy to run for any office. Because of all the arrows and everything else you're going to take. Gosh, I just do this little radio show and I get my fair share. It'd be a much happier existence just to go. And, a lot of folks are doing this right now. Why not just pull up stakes and move to Florida?
I'm a fighter, Justin. And when I am fighting for the people, and that's the weight that I carry around on my shoulders, because like I said, I've heard their stories. I've hugged them when they've been crying on how they weren't able to say goodbye to their loved ones in the nursing homes. I think that there's not a more horrible way to die is to die in isolation alone. And that's what's happened over to the elderly, to thousands of families across the state of Michigan. And so, yeah, you're right. It's not going to be fun. The attacks are going to come, but we need Americans to stand up now. We need Americans who love this country, who love this flag, who are always going to do what's right for the people, to take those hits. And that's one thing President Trump, who is still my president, he took a stand and he gave up his life to do what's right for the people. So we need Americans to pick up his torch of the America First agenda and continue with it in the future. And that's what's happening. There is this political campaign that is going to happen over the next 2 years is going to be like nothing we have ever seen. We the people, their voices want to be heard. And that's one thing I really feel that the Democrats have made a mistake, is they have awakened a sleeping giant and they have filled it with a terrible resolve. And that sleeping giant isn't me. That sleeping giant is we the people. And people are going to be engaged like they have never been engaged before. But that's exactly what needs to happen for us to not only take our state back and repair the damage that she has done, but also set the stage to take back the White House in 2024.
Dr. Garrett Soldano running for governor against the current governor here in Michigan, Whitmer. And of course, that run will come with, I'm sure, process to do many different things. One question I know I hear from a lot of folks is just the transparency. Former director of the Department of Health and Human Services here in Michigan set to testify in front of the Michigan House Oversight Committee today. He was given a $155,000 agreement to pay for his silence, a separation agreement. Robert Gordon is set to testify today. So what do you say when it comes to transparency if you do win and you're the governor?
That's one thing that I will be, is transparent to everybody out there. And that's one thing I've done over the past year, is always got online and gave the people up-to-date, accurate, and truthful information. And that's one thing that I think we deserve. It's our job to not only get the right people in the office, but to hold them accountable. When I win in 2022, hold me accountable. That's what this process is about, folks. You have the power. It's not these elected officials. They seem to think that they have the power, but the power comes from the people. And so from here on out, we can no longer ever fall asleep on the watch again. And I was that guy. I did. I fell asleep too. I would vote and I would forget until the next election cycle. We can no longer do that. We need to hold these elected officials, and to all the Americans out there right now who have that burning desire in your heart and soul that you want to do something, you can. The power of one can always lead to the power of many. We need Americans who love this country, who love this flag, to run for all levels of office. I don't care if it's your neighborhood book club, city council, school boards, government positions. We need Americans to take back not only our state, but we need Americans to stand up and take back our country.
Yeah, that is true. There's a lot more to be said. You can do a lot more in your backyard. More can be done in your house than in the White House a lot of times. And folks are going to probably have to run grassroots style in some places, school boards and places like that, where these offices, these things really matter. Dr. Garrett Soldano joining us. He's the he's the guy who's running for the latest to announce running for governor against Gretchen Whitmer here coming up in 2022, and we know that that'll be here quicker than we know, and he's just announced his campaign. If folks want to go check out your campaign, maybe reach out, what's the best way for them to do that?
The best way right now is to go to our website, GarettForMichigan.com, and that's 2 R's, 2 T's in my name, Garrett, and FOR, not the number 4, FOR, Michigan.com, and that's where you can sign up, you can donate, you can get involved. We need volunteers. This is all about grassroots, folks. We are a representation of all of you, so we need all of your help, and we have to go up against, unfortunately, Gretchen's war chest, which she raised off all of our hard work this past summer with the Unlock Michigan campaign with the Repeal 1945 law. She's got over $5 million, but we the people have spoken and raised over $150,000 in 24 hours. So I can only imagine where this is going to go over the next several months, and we the people will get it done.
Garrett Soldano, Dr. Garrett Soldano, thank you for joining us today and the latest. Please come back and get updated as things move forward.
Hang in there. We're going to win this fight. Thanks, Justin, for the time.
Appreciate you, Doc. Dr. Garrett Soldano, running for governor here in Michigan, the latest to challenge Governor